This one's so good. It's really good.
Really good. Homebrewers, what if I told you there was a way that you could transform a finished beer? In this video, I'm joined by the wonderful Joanne Luff from BarthHaas to talk about Prisma, their brand new flowable hop product. We're going to take you through everything to do with what Prisma is, how you can apply it in your home brewery, and we brewed a beer especially for this video to see just what magic it can do. Joe, welcome back to the Malt Miller YouTube channel, and we are so pleased to have you finally here at Malt Miller HQ.
Yes, hello, this is my first time on site.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Was it what you expected?
More. I was very impressed. Reiki did me a lovely tour and it's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time out to come and see us today to talk all about Prisma. Before we jump into that, now Joe has been on the channel a couple of times on a couple of videos. There'll be links down in the description for you to check out. But for anybody that hasn't met you before, Joe, what do you do for BarthHaas?
All the marketing for our craft customers across the UK and Europe. I also specialise in events for that, so people may have seen me at festivals, and I have my own podcast that I co-host with my best friend Tori, which is A Woman's Brew. We are award-winning. We are award-winning.
Yeah. Well, look, like we said, today we're here to talk all about Prisma. Now, viewers of the channel, you've probably heard of Incognito, Spectrum, Flex, which is a product that we absolutely love here at the Malt Miller and use a lot. But Joe, what's Prisma?
So it is a hop-based emulsifier with the hop oils added into it. So, you know, as a brewer, you know that beer is mostly water.
Yeah.
To get flavour and aroma, we want those hop oils. Water and oil don't mix. So how do we get the most impact out of those oils in our beer? You need an emulsifier. So Prisma is 100% made out of hops. It's got a hop-based emulsifier that we have patented, and it is the evolution of Spectrum. Spectrum is a liquid pellet, so it's got everything that you get from a hop pellet is in that.
Yeah.
Prisma is primarily for aroma and flavour. It does not have the alpha acids, so you don't get bitterness pickup.
Yeah.
So it's great at any point in the brewing process, from whirlpool all the way down to post-filtration, to add layers of aroma and flavour.
So I imagine then that a lot of the benefits of Prisma are similar for commercial brewers and home brewers as Spectrum and Incognito. You know, you're not having the hop absorption. You're not having the losses associated with hop absorption. Sometimes like 10% of your work.
Yep.
You know, there are some key differences with how Prisma sort of continues and lasts.
It fully disperses within your beer and it stays put because of that emulsifier. So a longer term shelf stable aroma and flavour. From conversations that I'm having with commercial brewers, you still want a little bit from pellets.
Yeah.
So you can mix it with pellets to add a boost, to add longer lasting aroma and flavour.
Ultimately a more shelf stable product, which, you know, for a home brewer, sometimes working through a 19 litre keg, depending on how good the beer is, it might last a couple of weeks, it might last longer than that. And if you've delivered something that's really hoppy, you want that to stay, don't you? You want that to last and continue the whole way through the life of that keg. Yeah,
we all know that, you know, you should be drinking hoppy beers fresh because aromas and flavours that we want start to die off, but this will lengthen that for you because it is dispersed and is staying in the beer.
So Prisma can actually be used at whirlpool, dry hop, at the end of fermentation when you're packaging the beer. And can be added to beer post-packaging.
Yep, it can be used post-filtration to add aroma and flavour. So say you've got a very neutral lager base, you can create a hoppy lager, a pale ale by adding in different Prisma and different flavours of beer.
That's amazing. I mean, we've got so many home brewers that are kind of maybe brewing bigger batches, you know, maybe 40 litres, 60 litres, 100 litres. And that all ends up in individual 19 litre corny kegs. You could easily brew one base beer, split it across those, and then add different flavours, end up with different beers.
You can also add it before the beginning of fermentation, because you still get biotransformation. You're not getting bitterness pickup, but you will get biotransformation.
You produce some work, you bitter it, and you could use a Whirlpool edition of Mosaic.
Yep.
You know, or Galaxy. I like Galaxy in the Whirlpool because I think that adding it in the Whirlpool allows it to mellow and...
Am I allowed to say that Mosaic's my least favourite hop?
Oh!
Yeah, I know, I'm controversial.
Okay, all right. So we'll put Mosaic in on this at the Whirlpool. But then, you know, something else in at the beginning of fermentation, something at the end of fermentation, package it, taste it, and if you think, actually, I could do with a little pop of X, dose that straight into the keg.
Yep.
I can see this turning into a bit of a rabbit hole for me over the course of the next few months of brewing loads of weird and wonderful things. But before I go down that rabbit hole, I have made a beer for us to try today. It's an American Pale Ale, but deliberately with nothing added after Whirlpool. And also the Whirlpool kept fairly modest. A lager malt as the base malt. I think there's a bit of light Munich in there. I used Chico strain to ferment it. It's super simple. It's in 3 kegs. I added Citra Prisma to 1 keg, and the other I added the Mosaic. Sorry, your least favourite hop.
You know what? I've got over it nowadays. I just kind of get on with the Mosaic.
But those represent probably the 2 most popular varieties of classic American hops for us. So I wanted to see how it showed up. Now, I was being really fastidious with this. I added the Prisma into actually a collection vessel off the bottom of a Firmzilla, because what you can do with that is create a tiny little sealed enclosure that you can purge with CO2. Then I pushed beer into the vessel from the keg, dissolved the Prisma, sort of give it a really good shake, and then use CO2 to push it back into the keg. Then they've had a couple of days just to settle, disperse. Now, I know that you can kind of add it fairly quickly and just huck into it, but it does benefit from a little bit of time to homogenize, right?
Yeah, leave it 12 to 24 hours to really let it settle.
I think before we tuck into the 2 ones that we've added the Prisma to, I'm going to get you a glass of the base beer. Okay. Because you are a...
certified Cicerone.
That's the word. I was getting confused between Cicerone and sommelier then.
Oh, yeah.
But, so it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on the base beer.
Yeah, let's have a control. We're going to do a proper experiment.
Yeah, well, fairly.
Yeah.
Fairly scientific for a Wednesday afternoon.
Scientific as we get in homebrewing.
Yeah, yeah. Here you go, Jo.
Thank you.
American Pale Ale for you. I'm really pleased with how it's presenting in the glass.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Nice and bright, nice tight head, good colour as well.
Yeah.
Sort of like off amber.
Yeah.
You know.
What hot products did you use in the making of the base beer?
T90 pellets, Columbus through the boil, because I think it brings a lovely bitterness, and a little bit of Cascade in the Whirlpool. I wanted clean, classic, very neutral, so that we could then see the differences show up with the beers we've added the Prisma to.
Yeah, because I can still smell the malt base, which is good.
Yeah.
I do get like cleanness from the aroma. Yeah, nice and neutral. Just a kiss of citrus, and that bitterness is there to clean your palate. But yeah, like if you made this, you'd be happy with it. It's a nice, clean beer. This
would be a beer that you could enjoy in the sun, watching the football maybe.
Yeah.
With a barbecue with friends, crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Right?
But do you want like a really nice boost of something fruity in there, some really impactful flavour? Yeah. Quite possibly.
Shall I grab the other 2?
Go on then.
So we're putting our base beer to the side, and we're starting with the first one that has Prisma in. I'm going to let you try it and see whether you think you know which one this is.
I mean, I like it, so I'm going to say that's the Citra one.
Absolutely is the Citra one, yeah. And it's amazing because it is literally the same beer, but you're just getting that pop, aren't you?
I mean, obviously I'm going to say it's great because it's my company's product, but just straight away, like this is a very clean, drinkable beer. But if you want that boost of flavour, the Citra in there is just giving it like a really nice, refreshing, citrusy kick. Yeah. That just make it, and it's very drinkable. Like
some people say that you can get a little bit of elderflower from Citra, and I think that's really quite prominent here.
Yeah. Nicely floral, citrus. Like it just smells really refreshing and tasty. I mean, it smells tasty.
Yeah, it smells tasty.
It smells tasty, tastes tasty.
Yeah, it smells tasty and it tastes smelly.
It doesn't taste smelly.
If I was given that at a barbecue, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah, super easy drinking, and it just got that like just extra layer of flavour in there.
It is really nuanced, isn't it, Joe? I'm even getting that little bit of grapefruit come through as well. And there's almost like a little undercurrent of berry as well.
Yeah, a subtle juiciness, if you can say that about it as well.
Right, I'm now going to go and get your least favourite hop in the world. Your third glass, Joe.
Ooh.
So this is the Mosaic one. I have to say, all three beers look identical.
Yeah, like there's a little bit of haziness, but it's because we've added a hop product to it, right? Like,
yes.
Hop products, depending on the amount that you add to them, will add a little bit of haze to your beers.
Let's go in, give this one a smell. Oh, you are good, aren't you? I'm going to have to do that as well, just to look like I know what I'm talking about. That's just berries. Just berries.
What? I am getting berry from it.
A little bit of passion fruit.
The thing I always think about with Mosaic is you get that like dankness.
Yeah.
To me, it comes across as broccoli, which is it's not my favourite. But all of our palates are different.
Yes, and I personally always reach for Mosaic when I want that dankness, that kind of almost weedy thing going on.
I know other people like that. It's not my favourite, right? But I know that everybody else likes it. So that's what you're getting from it. You're getting that classic Mosaic aroma. Flavour-wise,
Tons of pineapple.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out there. The Mosaic one's my favourite. What's yours?
Citra.
Yeah, I thought it would be. But do you know what? I'm going to go completely rogue. Citra.
Oh, we're blending.
And Mosaic.
I love a little bit of
give it a go.
Okay, no, go on then. Let's do it. Okay. Mega blend.
Yeah, cheers.
Do you know what? There's a reason why Citra and Mosaic is used in everything together.
That works so well.
Yeah.
And actually, if you're a home brewer and you want to do experiments, you know, maybe having a couple of kegs, and then when you get halfway through, yeah, do you know what? Make a third beer and just blend them together. That's great.
It does taste really good.
Should we get even more experimental? And should I go and grab some grapefruit and a pipette?
Yes, let's.
It's a flavour carrier that you've developed. Yes. You're able to add not just natural hop oils, but other oils as well, right?
Yeah. This hop-based emulsifier will carry any botanical oil. So I believe you've got some grapefruit.
Grapefruit,
So you've got grapefruit oil. We have done a lemon one. I don't know if it's homebrew scale available yet, but there is a bitter orange and coriander blend that is available that makes a really good wit beer.
Wow. Okay, sorry, I didn't even know that one was available. So that's got me like, yeah, okay, I want to brew a wit beer and I'm going to need some of that. Joe, I've got you some grapefruit Prisma.
Here it is.
And recharged our glasses with the base beer, although I'm still absolutely delighted with that. I mean,
it's got such a really good head on it.
Yeah, yeah, very pleased with it. Is this completely scientific?
No, it's not scientific. No, we're literally going to stick the pipette in it, drop it in, and then stir it. And that's literally it.
Yeah.
If you're trying to scale up a recipe, this is not very scientific and won't give you accurate amounts. But it does show you how well it disperses in cold beer. And then from a flavour standpoint, it'll probably be grapefruit to the max.
Yeah. And it is worth noting that this is actual grapefruit oil that's been blended with the emulsifier. Yeah. So it's not a synthesised grapefruit product. And that's the same with the other fruits that are available. Right, come on then, let's have a go. I want to see this.
It looks very much like Spectrum, if anyone's used Spectrum. It is very flowable.
Yeah.
Don't be tempted to lick it. I once had a brewer like lick Spectrum and I don't think they could taste anything for about a week.
Yes.
But already like, smell the grapefruit in there.
It almost smells like candied grapefruit. It's got that almost like candied sweets thing going on. All right, come on, let's get this in.
Right, you literally just want like a couple like that, and then like.
Right, come here then. Let me do mine.
Yeah, go on.
There'll still be enough in there, I would have thought. Yeah.
Yep. If you see, like it's completely dispersed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I haven't even tasted it. That's ridiculous.
Yep, it's just grapefruit now. It's like a completely different beer.
Okay, that's insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
Now, One of my first craft beer experiences, I guess, was back in the day, Brewdog, Elvis juice. Back in the day when it was like 6.7%, that was an absolute banger.
It used to make really good pancakes.
What, Elvis juice pancakes?
Elvis juice pancakes.
I'm learning. I'm learning even more. I'm going to have a go at Elvis juice.
Yeah, with this grapefruit Prisma.
That's banging. If homebrewers wanted to layer multiple Prismas on top of each other, can they quite comfortably play around with lots of combinations?
I think you can. I mean, obviously, it's still a hot product. Like, if you were to use a stupid amount, like, that's going to unbalance your flavours. It's still about flavour and layering. So you need to think about what flavour are you trying to achieve, how can you do that? But you can still use different ones to create those different flavour profiles, just like you do with any other hot product.
This has completely wowed me, this grapefruit one. The other two were fantastic, but this, because I haven't used a fruit flavouring of any sort for a very long time in a beer, seeing how quickly and easily it was to disperse into the beer and the flavour impact, that's crazy.
And if you want to make your own lemonade, if you want to make your own hop water with a bit of fruit flavour added to it, again, it's just another tool in your toolbox to use. Is
it being picked up really well by commercial brewers?
Yes. We worked with our customers when we were developing this, and I think that's really shown through because we've created something that our customers needed and can use really well. Obviously, one craft brewery is Jopen in the Netherlands. They're using it. There is also Busta de Bragante in Italy. He got 10% extra yield and he saw amazing results from it.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, and because we're talking about yield, right, from like a commercial brewer's perspective, but as you said, like home brewers, so I used to homebrew. I didn't use any of this fancy equipment you've got in here. I was 2 soup pots on the stove. So any little drops of beer, I needed all of that for my batch. So using liquids would have been amazing. Also, clean up.
Yeah.
I would use whole cone because I hated cleaning up the sludge from pellets, even though pellets were better. But liquid is going to save you that because, especially Prisma, because it fully disperses. Yeah. So there isn't anything to clean out.
Hey, I'm there. I'm there all day. We've got loads of other things to be getting on with in life.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, does it add bitterness?
No. Prisma is aroma and flavour.
Am I going to get hop creep?
No.
Is it going to affect head stability?
No, but it is still a hop product. So you have to think any effects that hops have on your beer if you're using it at very high doses.
It is going to add a tiny touch of haze. Will that disperse as well?
So if you're using stupid amounts, very high, then you are going to get that hop haze in it. But we've used it in lagers and they've stayed bright, so it's been fine.
Are the flavours going to fade?
No, because it's longer lasting because it is fully dispersed within your beer and stays put because of that hop-based emulsifier.
Homebrewers, if I've not asked a question that you would like answered, I want you to drop it down in the comments section below and I'll email Jo or send her a WhatsApp and I'll get back to you with the answer. Well, look, Jo, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us today. Thanks for sharing all this knowledge around Prisma with our customers and our viewers. I think it's such an amazing product, really exciting, and I can't wait to have a play around. And once I have had a play around, I'll have to get some beers to you for you to try.
Yes, thank you very much.
And maybe they'll get featured on your podcast.
Oh, maybe they will.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
And as I said before, if you've got any questions for us, do drop them down in the comments section below. And if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. However, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell for notifications, and please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And as ever, have a great brew. Cheers.
Cheers. This one's so good. It's really good.
Really good.